Okay, guys, so this is just a part two video, a follow up video to the Torch of Max Kellerman that I've been making. Hopefully, this will be the second and final part to the video. But pretty much, I'm going through some of the issues I had with Max Kellerman's first first week on the first take, specifically when he talked about boxing. I thought the rest of what he did and what he talked about that week was okay, but when he talked about boxing, there was some blatant biases that need to be addressed. So yeah, I hope you guys like the video, and let me just resume to where I left off. All right. Okay, now in this next slide, I'm showing the picture of Floyd Mayweather's last 10 fights. And as you can see in the picture, there's obviously only one name circled, and that's Andre Berto's. And that's because even I would have much rather seen Floyd Mayweather fight someone else for his last fight. Andre Berto, he's a solid opponent, but at that time he wasn't the most deserving. Well, I'm gonna leave it at that. I would have rather seen him fight someone else other than Andre Berto. I don't want to say Andre Berto's not the most deserving, but I think he deserves a lot. But just given the fact that he lost 3 of his last 6 fights, it's like I would have rather seen him fight some other Floyd Mayweather, fight someone like a Keith Thurman or whatnot. But outside of Andre Berto, just look at the look at. I'm gonna go through the names, and some of you guys might want to argue with me and just discredit. But I'm just gonna list. I'm gonna give you a reason as to why I did not circle any other name than Andre Berto. Number one, Ricky Hatton. This is a person that a lot of people want Floyd Mayweather to fight. Okay, Ricky, you can't tell me that Ricky Hatton was not credible. But he was a champion at 140, and he was undefeated. This guy, he was also ranked on the pound for pound list. And the same thing goes for Juan Manuel Marquez, who also, by the way, went on to put Manny Pacquiao to sleep. So those two first names, don't talk to me about that. Shane Mosley. Now, I did not circle Shane Mosley's name on Manny Pacquiao's last 10 fights. So if you want to take away, you want to circle Shane Mosley's name, okay, fine, we can do that. But I'm going to circle Shane Mosley's name on Manny Pacquiao's list as well, because Floyd Mayweather fought Shane Mosley fresh after that Shane Mosley victory over Antonio Margarito. So yeah, Shane Mosley, yeah, he was old. I guess you can say he was over the hill, but it was still very competitive. He even showed that in the he was not competitive, but he still had some fight left in him, and he showed that in that second round against Floyd Mayweather. So Shane Mosley, I'm leaving him on the list, and then look at Victor Ortiz. Victor Ortiz, even Max Kellerman gave Floyd Mayweather credit for fighting Victor Ortiz. Miguel Cotto, I shouldn't have to say anything about that. Robert Guerrero was Floyd Mayweather's mandatory, okay? He was a Floyd Mayweather's mandatory. So I don't understand how anybody can complain about that. He just had an impressive knockout victory over Andre Berto when he fought right before he fought Floyd Mayweather. Saul Canelo Alvarez, I shouldn't have to say anything about that. I shouldn't have to say anything about Marcos Maidana either. But I know some idiots in the comment section might want to talk, so I'm gonna talk about Marcos Maidana. Marcos Maidana had just defeated Adrian Broner. He was coming off, I think, a 3-fight knockout streak. He defeated Adrian Broner and gained he became I think he was the WBA champion at the time. He had one of the titles, and pretty much when he fought Floyd Mayweather, it was a unification bout. I don't know how anybody can complain about that fight happening. It makes no sense to me. This was a meaningful fight because it was a unification bout, and the rematch took place after because of all the fucking controversy surrounding the first fight. I thought Floyd Mayweather won the fight clearly, but you see all these fucking idiots everywhere saying, "Oh, Floyd Mayweather, he's a runner. He didn't deserve that first win, blah blah blah," and then he fights him again. I don't see why anybody's complaining about Floyd Mayweather fighting Marcos Maidana twice. And Manny Pacquiao, I shouldn't have to say anything about that. And Andre Berto, the only name that I circled. All right, so at least 9 out of 10 fights were very meaningful fights. So I can't understand how Max Kellerman can say May Pacquiao took the model route when May Pacquiao at least five of his 10 last fights were fights that were just that shouldn't have happened. There were definitely better competition out there for May Pacquiao. We're talking about May Pacquiao for crying out loud. So there's so many fighters that would just are chopping at the bits to fight May Pacquiao. Does anyone else notice how when we're talking about Floyd Mayweather and May Pacquiao, we're talking about Floyd Mayweather fighting, guys like Keith Thurman, guys like Kell Brook, guys like Gennady Golovkin. But when we're talking about May Pacquiao, we're talking about May Pacquiao fighting guys like Lucas Matisse, guys like Lucas Matisse, Terrence Crawford, who is very good. I like Terrence Crawford, but again, these are all guys that are even below the welterweight division. May Pacquiao's a welterweight, and we're talking about May Pacquiao fighting junior welterweights. That's just absurd to me. I don't understand that. It's just ridiculous. So after comparing the last 10 fights of Floyd Mayweather and May Pacquiao's, I don't see how anybody can still be saying that Manny Pacquiao was the model standard, the way to do it for the fans. If you love the fan, like, you know what I mean. Like, I can't understand how you can say that Manny Pacquiao took on more challenges when Floyd Mayweather clearly has a stronger resume, especially with when you consider the last 10 opponents they both had. So anyway, let's get on to the next point.
Yeah, but they'll fight at a catch weight.
I agree, and I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying to you
they'll
is...
fight on the moon at heavyweight.
And I'm saying to you, we can revisit the topic when that happens. But if you standing here talking about you want to stay at 140, and Pacquiao has been walking around fighting at 145 to 147, and that's what he has been doing, how come we're not talking about Keith Thurman, because and Keith Thurman is undefeated?
The real reason we're not talking about it is promotional issues. But even if there weren't promotional issues, in other words, who's with what promoter and who's with what network and where's the easiest deal to make, even if that were not the case, I would much rather see Pacquiao fight Crawford than Pacquiao fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman just had life and death with Sean Porter. Kell Brook easily beat Sean Porter. Keith Thurman's a very good fighter. I like everything about the guy. But if you ask me, is he a top 10 pound for pound? I think even Keith Thurman would say,
So from the clip that I just played, Max Kellerman goes as far as to admit the real reason as to why Keith Thurman is not in the conversation of fighting Manny Pacquiao is because of network and promotional issues. Now, before you guys leave any dumbass comments in the comment section, I want to explain that I do understand the context in which Max Kellerman is addressing that. However, there is clearly, when you watch the rest of that clip I just played, there's clearly a bias against fighters that are not fighting in HBO. Look at how he talks about Keith Thurman and his victory over Sean Porter. Look at how he talks about Sean Porter, and look at how he talks about Kell Brook. He acts as if Kell Brook is just some other bum that beat Sean Porter. No, Kell Brook is also an elite fighter, and in fact, you can say that even on Max Kellerman's network, they're trying to hype Kell Brook as a credible opponent for Gennady Golovkin, who is a 160-pounder. Okay, and you guys are trying to tell me it's like just listen to how absurd these people sound, or how absurd Max Kellerman sounds. People aren't even sure that Manny Pacquiao could beat Kell Brook. I don't think Manny Pacquiao can beat Kell Brook. I don't think Manny Pacquiao can beat Sean Porter. I don't think Manny Pacquiao can beat Keith Thurman. I'm just being straight with you, and I sure as hell don't think. Well, not sure as hell, but I don't think that Terrence Crawford could beat Keith Thurman either. Why? Because I respect weight divisions. Don't get me wrong. I love Terrence Crawford. I was floored by his spectacular performance against Victor Postal. All right, but weight class, like Paulie Malignaggi says, weight classes are there for a reason. Okay, 7 pounds. That's a lot, and I love how Stephen A. Smith addressed the fact that we're just creating another built-in excuse for Manny Pacquiao if he loses to Terrence Crawford, if he fights Terrence Crawford. First off, listen, everybody knows that Manny Pacquiao is a full-fledged welterweight, okay? This man has been fighting at welterweight for how many years now? He's a welterweight. Let's just get that straight, okay? He's a welterweight. So yeah, let's stop pretending like Manny Pacquiao is he has the model standard for who to fight and who you should fight and taking on challenges head first. Manny Pacquiao. Let's stop pampering that guy. Okay, let's stop feeding him 140 pounders. And when this guy is a fucking welterweight, Manny Pacquiao is a welterweight. Feed him welterweights or maybe something above. I want to see him challenge. Okay, are you telling me if just imagine the criticism if Floyd Mayweather just out of the blue announced that he wanted to fight Chris Algieri? Yeah! Chris Algieri. I want to fight. Floyd Mayweather says, I want to fight Chris Algieri. Let me get in the ring with Brandon Rios. I want to fight me some Brandon Rios. Please try to explain to me. Please lie in my face. Tell me that you would accept that fight. Any of you that's listening to this video, tell me. If we wouldn't accept that from Floyd Mayweather, then I'm not going to accept it from Manny Pacquiao either. We need to start holding these fighters to the same standard. And clearly, Max Kellerman and everybody that works for HBO, they don't plan on doing that. They plan on protecting their HBO fighters. And again, I think that Terrence Crawford has a chance at beating Manny Pacquiao. But my issue is that I would much rather see Manny Pacquiao fight another welterweight. Why? Because Manny Pacquiao himself is a welterweight. Stop fucking campaigning at the welterweight division if you don't plan on fighting welterweights. You see what I'm saying? I just find the whole situation with Manny Pacquiao messed up. And don't you guys find it funny how Max Kellerman goes on to say that the real reason why Keith Thurman is not in the conversation of having a Manny Pacquiao fight is because of promotional and network issues, and because they're both both from different promotional companies and different networks and whatnot. But Gennady Golovkin is also under the same HBO network as Manny Pacquiao. Yet you never hear these conversations about Manny Pacquiao being able to fight, like Manny Pacquiao should fight Gennady Golovkin, do you? No, and they work under the same network. Whereas with Floyd Mayweather, he fights under a different network, but Max Kellerman has no problem saying that Floyd Mayweather, for the legacy, he's got to fight Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, because this is for the legacy. Floyd Mayweather, he has to do it. You don't see Max Kellerman won't hesitate to talk about how Golovkin needs to fight Floyd Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather needs to fight Golovkin, even though they're under different networks. But Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman can't be talked about because they're also under different networks. I just don't understand it. Manny Pacquiao and Gennady Golovkin are never mentioned, even though Manny Pacquiao and Golovkin are under the same network. Don't you guys find that really weird? You guys don't see you can't connect the dots there? Clearly there's a bias towards HBO fighters, and there's a bias against fighters that aren't fighting under HBO.
Keith Thurman's a very good fighter. I like everything about the guy. But if you ask me, is he a top 10 pound for pound? I think even Keith Thurman would say,
I'm glad that Stephen A. Smith stopped him right there, because there's no way in hell that Keith Thurman would say he's not a top 10 pound for pound fighter. There's no way in hell Keith Thurman would say he's not. Okay. Anyway, I think that's the last clip I wanted to show you guys. But yeah, that last part right there was just pretty bogus. Yeah, Keith Thurman would definitely shut that shit down. So yeah, that's it. That's all for today. That's all for this torch. I just wanted to get this off my chest and pretty much slay the nonsense that Max Kellerman was spouting. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys later.